Minute, can we reschedule? And I said, I'm not, whatever the date he picked, I wasn't available. So then he pushed it out to November. And before November came, I filed my counterclaim between that time.
Okay.
And I listed everything.
What's your counterclaim on?
The first thing was lack of standing, wrong venue, and then what is it called where you say, oh, what my I think the thing that really helped me was the securitization, because when they finally had time to go through the paperwork, they had no assignment of benefits that was good at all. So I included all of that in my counterclaim.
How much is your counterclaim for?
I asked for $5,500.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. From 1 to 10, how scared were you?
I was 100. Every time I had to go in that courtroom, my heart was beating fast. But I was like, you got this. They don't know you don't know. Just look at your notes and keep it going.
Now,
So
were you being scared over it being your first time? Or was it
yeah,
a fear of just not knowing how it would go?
I would practice in the mirror how to articulate what I would do his rebuttal with, but it was more, this was my very first time. Am I doing this right? Did I forget anything? Am I overstepping my boundaries? And then I was really trying to study up on Tennessee civil procedures because they're a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that was my biggest fear. It was like, okay, did I say this right? Did I word this right according to Tennessee law?
So at the end, why do you think they ended up deciding to drop it or whatever they decided?
Honestly, I think it's because he did not want me to speak in front of all these other people. They're kind of uneducated. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, wow. You talking about like if they had one person fighting back, then they say, wait a
yeah,
minute.
yeah. I think because you could tell everybody was just giving up. Remember how you said in one of your calls, you was like, "Don't give up. You giving them an easy win. Even if the judge dismissed it, you got to refile. Do it that way, but don't give up." And so he was expecting me to give up because by the time we were ready to go to court, I had moved back to Georgia, so I had to travel each time. I had to travel back to Tennessee to go to court, and that's a
Wow.
three. It was a 3.5 hour drive to get to the courthouse.
Wow.
And I really feel like he didn't expect me to continue that drive. And like I said, he didn't want me to talk in front of those other people who were just freaking out. Okay, what can we do? Can I make arrangements?
But think about this. For $47, you found out what you're supposed to find out, and now you can educate and enlighten other people with that same information. It don't get no better than that, you know.
Yeah, I laughed because I had a couple of family members. I'm like, "You crazy? You spending that gas for that? Just pay the darn thing." And now that when I sent the email to show them I won, now they asking me all kind of questions.
Nah, you know what you're supposed to send them then and there? Invoice. Don't
I
try
know
to be
that's
my
right,
friend now.
residual job.
Oh, you didn't believe me at first. Now you gotta pay. Now
Yeah.
everybody wants to be your friend. I got
Uh-huh.
a guidance. Now you should be sending them. You should be sending them a link. That's what you
Yeah.
should be doing.
You right. You right. I got to get on that.
That's what you should be doing. But hey, congratulations. We ain't gonna wait till more time or so.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
No problem. It don't even be about what I do. It's about affecting other people and helping them win one by one, little by little, time by time. That's all it is. That's all it is. But I want to wish everybody a happy new year to everyone that's in here. She said she was in Tennessee. Let me start the recording.
Recording in progress.
The first call of the year, January. Happy New Year to everybody that's listening in. And tonight we got a lot of things that we're going to cover, but we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get to it. If you're a late comer, you're a straggler, you might miss out on some information. So remember, if you're on time, you're late. Um, we're gonna do 15 minutes with Trinity. Then I'm gonna touch on two things. But I promise you, you guys are gonna enjoy it tonight. You need to share your screen, Trinity. She don't know what she's doing.
Yes, please. See, that's so bold. Talking about I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Trinity with The Remedy, and I only got 15 minutes, right? So you didn't miss nothing, Drea. Well, you missed our win. Miss Carla, she had a win in state court. And congratulations, Carla, because you stayed down till you came up, girl. Yes, that's how you got to do it. So I got another easy, well, I ain't gonna say this is an easy win, but it's definitely, if you follow all the steps, you understand the strategy, you can definitely take a creditor right on off your credit report, okay? And it's my favorite, right next to a CC, it's a S2B. Okay, so the only way that we're going to be able to learn these things is by actually doing. We have to do them because everybody got a credit report. Now, does everybody have bad credit? No, but if we're being realistic, the majority of people, their credit is not where it needs to be. That's why we have credit repair, right? So if you need to practice, you're trying to get your foot in the door, and you're like, I don't want to go after the CRAs right now. I'm not really ready for that, or I don't have, debt collectors, but I do got some creditors. Like we got some charge-offs, we got some repos, stuff like that. This S2B is what is going to help you get over that hump. So
now, for the new people, what exactly is that?
well, you know what? We're gonna go to our favorite place, which is Cornell Law, and I'm gonna show the people. Okay, this is where we're going. We're going to Cornell Law. Okay, this is 15 USC 1681 S2B. Well, it's S2 because that's the statute, but we have to go to B. Don't worry about A. Okay, I don't want y'all, don't even think about A. I know the rule is we always read from top to bottom, and that is very true.
Now we can't leave out why we just forgetting A.
Well, we're forgetting A. We're not messing with A. Of course, I want y'all to read A, right? But A, this is where it gets tricky, right? And this is why we really, hone in on y'all doing FDCPA cases first, because they're a lot more easier than FCRA. But if you got the time, you got the energy, and your situation just doesn't align with what's going on with the FDCPA, we come over here. So back to what Joe was saying, why are we skipping over A? Because you're going to skip over A because there's no private right of action. If you don't know what that is, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know what private right of action is, put a 1 in the chat.
I don't.
Here we go. There's always one. There's always one. Okay. So for our new people that, welcome, that y'all don't know what private right of action is, it's just the part of the law that gives you the right to sue is civil liability, right? It's gonna give you the power to say, hey, you can take this to the appropriate jurisdiction within the court system and you can file this complaint. All right. So with A, when it comes to A, it's not going to, I don't know, why is that doing that? I don't know that. It's if you start quoting, S2A, which it don't even sound right when I say it because I never say it, but S2A, your complaint's going to get dismissed because there's no private right of action. It's really just the duties. That's what it is. It's the duties. Don't get your duties confused with the steps that they must take, which is in B, that they have to follow when you do your dispute for the FCRA. So that's why that's like that. Why I'm telling y'all don't worry about A, because A, if your complaint gets to sounding too much like the responsibilities and the duties appear, because I've done this. This is why I'm telling y'all, because I've done this. You're gonna get a 12B6 because they're gonna say, oh, their complaint is S2A. There's no private right of action for S2A, all the rest of this stuff. So if you go and get into your complaint and you get to saying stuff like the creditor failed to fulfill their duty to provide accurate information, that's not going to matter because that's not one of the elements you need for S2B. Okay. And when I say elements, I mean that every claim has certain elements, certain specific things that you must allege so that you're actually stating a claim. Okay. So for the FCRA, one of your elements has to be that for the S2B is that you have to have done a dispute. Okay. So like I said, we're not doing this. So I don't even want y'all to get your mind wrapped around these duties of furnitures, these responsibilities. Okay, because this don't apply to us. You can have it in your back of your mind, you can read it, all the rest of that stuff, but when it comes time for your complaint, we need to be at B. Okay, so I'm just sliding on down. You guys to come on down so you can see where it's at, because this is how it gets tricky, because ain't nobody gonna tell you that, oh yeah, you're gonna sue the creditor, you gotta do it under this, under S2B. You can't do it under S2A. If somebody tells you you can sue a creditor under S2A, you can just stop listening to them.
They're the same ones that's telling you to sue under Title 18. And what I mean by Title 18, typically you got to be a government official, like a district attorney and stuff like that. So, I mean, unless you got your bar license, I mean, pardon me.
Yeah, or right up there with, those FTC, those FTC reports. We don't want to do that. We want to do things the right way, okay? So with S2B, this is where we are, right? Duties of furnishers of information upon notice of dispute. What does that mean? That basically just means that when you get your credit report, right, we're gonna look at those charge-offs. We're gonna look at those repos. We're gonna see what's going on. Even student loans, you're gonna find the inaccuracies, right? We are, if you don't know, 1681I is investigation. I stands for investigation. That's how I look at it. You have to do a dispute in writing directly to the CRA. Why, Trinity? Because if you don't do your dispute directly with the CRA, you're not going to trigger your statutory rights under the FCRA. What are statutory rights? Your statutory rights are the rights afforded to you by the statute. So it basically means that if you did a dispute and you follow all the guidelines and requirements for a proper dispute, and your report is not correct, you can sue. It's really simple. Like, I make things so simple. All right. We don't want to make it more difficult than what it is. Now, with B, this is the beauty part, the good part about it. There are A, B, C, D, E. There are 5 statutory requirements that they have to fulfill once they do their dispute. Okay, so this 1681 IA2, this just means, okay, you're gonna do your proper dispute with, whoever the creditor is. All right. A is gonna tell you that this is what they have to do. This is what the creditor has to do. They have to conduct an investigation with respect to the disputed information. So once you send your dispute to the CRA, they're supposed to forward that information to the creditor. And we're not going to get into all the back and forth of what we know what the CRAs and what they be doing. They never do their job. Them people don't do what they're supposed to do. That's how we're able to catch the violations. So once they get forwarded this information, quote unquote, from the CRA, they're supposed to do their own investigation. Hey, let's see if she's saying that the balance is incorrect. She's saying that this date is off. Let's look at our records. You're not asking them to do anything outside of the scope of what their regular policies are. So if I'm disputing that, the chart, the close date, all these different things are just things that they should be able to look into their records and see very easily, right? So that goes into this. Review all relevant information provided by the Consumer Reporting Agency. So let's just say when you did your dispute, and one of the things with your dispute was that the balance was incorrect, and you sent in, let's say it was for a repo, and you sent in your deficiency balance or surplus, and the balance on that document is way less than what is reporting, on your credit report. That is something that you can dispute. So if you send that in with your dispute, and you get your results and your results weren't updated and it comes back verified, that's going to be a problem, because what does that mean? It means that you didn't review all the relevant information that I provided to you in my dispute. Okay, so then we have, boom, report the results of the investigation to the Consumer Reporting Agency. They have to report their results. Did they update it? Did they delete it? Did it come back verified? 9 times out of 10, it's gonna come back verified. If it doesn't come back verified and it comes back updated, you still need to check to see if it was updated correctly, because I've had disputes. American Express, they updated the account, but they updated it incorrectly with the incorrect information. So you have to be, on the lookout for that. Then we have D. If the investigation finds that the information is incomplete or inaccurate, report those results to all other consumer reporting agencies to which the person furnished the information and that compile and maintain files on consumers on a nationwide basis. What that means, it means that they have to let's say we did our dispute with Equifax. Well, guess what? If the information was wrong, they have to let TransUnion and Experian know that that information was wrong, if indeed they did report to those other reporting agencies. Now, how are we going to know that they did that? We're not going to know, but you can find out in discovery after you sue them. You can find out in discovery. You can ask for, I need the documents showing that you let these other reporting agencies know that this information was inaccurate, right? So that's what that's about. Then we have E, which D and E can kind of sound like the same, but it's not. So E is if an item of information disputed by a consumer is found to be inaccurate or incomplete or cannot be verified after any reinvestigation under paragraph 1 for the purposes of reporting to a consumer reporting agency only as appropriate based on the results of the reinvestigation promptly, modify the item, delete the item, or permanently block it. So D is talking about letting the other CRAs know that this information is incorrect. E is about after the investigation is complete, they need to either update it, they need to delete it, or they need to block it. So these are our 5 statutory requirements. Keep in mind, if each one of these, A, B, C, D, E, is worth 1,000 per violation. So you can imagine how sick I was when I first started doing S2B, and I was only gauging these 2. And when I met Joe was like, you left some money on the floor. Like you missing out. So, but that's what my level of, experience had taught me until boom, I was able to go to a whole nother level. I'm like, dang, I could be getting 5 instead of 2. So you can start your settlement negotiations higher when you know that this breaks down into 5 statutory requirements. So, and then that's not to say if you're going to do, willful and all that other stuff. But the base for one, the baseline for one account, one creditor is at least 5,000 because
up to
5,000. So that's not to say that's what you're gonna get, but we can start negotiations around there, and then that's just for your statutory. That's not even including, what you're gonna be claiming for actual damages. So I am going to take some questions on this, but that's all I got for y'all. So
any questions specifically about S2B and where it's located? Going once, going twice.
yes,
All right.
and yes, Drea, it's A through E, because Drea asks is it A through E? Yep, it's A through E. So
Oh, my bad.
I was like, damn, you gonna mute me like that? Because I never knew about the other 4. Yeah, me neither. I was making so much, movement with them too, but my settlements were so low. Like I was only getting like, my first one I had got like 500, then my second one I got like 7, then I couldn't get past like 1,500, but I was starting my negotiations at like 2,000 because I'm only putting those two requirements when I could have been using all 5, but I didn't know.
So Brian said S2B, CCE8 pretty much cover majority of cases.
Yeah, and 1681I if you wanna do the CRAs. So yeah, a S2B, a CC, a EA, and 1681I and EB, that'll get you done. That'll pretty much cover majority of cases. I would agree with that, yeah. Okay. Well, if that's it for me, Joe.
Cool.
I'll put my email, you guys, in the chat. So if you guys have any questions or need anything from me, just shoot me an email.
Cool. Give Trinity some fire emojis, guys, for talking about that. Now, this subject is so touchy because every time I talk about it, I get in trouble. I ain't gonna say I get in trouble. I get the nonsense. I get the nonsense in my DMs. And I'll be like, bruh, the case law say what the case law say. I don't care who said what and who did who and why. But I'm going to play it. Give me 1 second. Fee waivers. Anybody familiar with them? What it is? How to use it? Anybody here ever use one? Yes, no? Oh, Joe, I use my fee waivers all the time. Joe, I'm using it. Some of y'all got government jobs using fee waivers. Crazy work. And if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. But I want you guys to read a case and we go over a case talking about this. So when we talk about fee waivers, I had to go look for it. I'm not even going to show it all because one, it makes your case that much harder. And what I mean by that much harder, you got to go through a compliance. Extra set of eyes got to look at it before you even get started. 2, I hope you're not lying on a government form about your income. I hope that you're not lying on a form. That's a fee waiver. This case tonight that we're talking about, the sovereign citizen argument in court. I wasn't going to do it. I've been sitting on it for like a month. And see, December 21st, I had it before Christmas. I was going to drop it before Christmas. And I said, Matito, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it alone. I'll do it first of the year. Do sovereign citizen arguments ever work in court? And I'm going to point something out that's like kind of critical in this whole situation. Joe didn't say it. The judge said it. So drop in the chat who said it. Joe didn't say it. The judge said it. Who said it? Joe didn't say it. The judge said it. Drop the judge said it in the chat. Because y'all will take it and say, I was on Joe's Zoom and Joe said this. I ain't say nothing. The judge said it. And the judge made a great point. Despite the attempts to across thousands of cases, sovereign theories have never prevailed in any court. Believers continue to file lawsuits convinced they discovered a super loophole that generations of attorneys have missed. These arguments are routinely rejected as frivolous, nonsense, and non-central. Look, I ain't say it. And I think that's where a lot of people cases fall. They might have been legitimately violated, but at the end of the day, I want to win. And if I want to win, I need the judge to be able to articulate what I'm saying. We know the origins, about straw man or legal faction. And this case study is Tillman versus Midland Credit Management. The fatal contradiction and plaintiff's filings. How the court analyzed and rejected the arguments, the rulings, and this implications. You heard me, Jordan, earlier talk about securitization. I'm with it 100%. And we didn't win cases here over and over and over again using some of those principles and tools. But to me, that's just a tool in helping me win the case. The straw man theory, we hear this all the time. I tell everybody, I win using securitization, but I'm on the public side. I'm not on the private side. The birth certificate, they claim taxes only apply to the straw man, declaring separation, escape these obligations. And I'm not going to go into that. But this case, the plaintiff filed a pro se lawsuit against a debt collector law firm, alleging violations of the federal law. And what happened next? Due scrutiny. They alleged $150,000 in multiple federal violations, garnishments, injunctive relief, all that, right? But the problem with his case was the filing fee. Federal courts require a filing fee to initiate a lawsuit. However, the system provides a waiver for indigent litigants known as proceeding as inferus parfus. Chillman chose to apply for this status rather than pay the filing fee. This decision triggered a specific requirement that became the undoing of his case. The IFP requirement: you must truthfully disclose your entire financial situation, including income, assets, expenses, and prior IFP applications. This blows me that most people leave this part off. So I see people filing case after case after case, and it's only a matter of time for somebody calls them a frequent flyer, or they catch them in a lie for not disclosing that. Imagine you won 5 cases, and then that you're not including that as income. I earned 0 income in the past 12 months. Well, how can somebody garnish your wages? You cannot simultaneously have no income and have your wages garnished at the same time. But let's go to the case. So the case is against Daniel Tillman, against Midland. The court notes that there's some confusion over the plaintiff's legal name. The docket and the magistrate filings refer to him as Daniel with Danilo Nathaniel Tillman. The plaintiff's birth certificate lists his first name as Danilo and his middle name as Nathaniel, and his last name is Tillian. No hyphens. An Illinois court order for a name change lists his current name as Mr. Tillman. The document granted a change of name request ordering his first name, last name to be changed back, right? So they just talking about his name. He had an application. He issued given to submit an IFP application. When he did not submit a meter for a minute IFP application, denying his actions, the report of recommendations followed a motion to dismiss. Basically, he didn't do it right. When you get a motion to dismiss, let me give you guys a cheat code. Everything that's wrong with your complaint is in that motion to dismiss. So if you file a case in federal court, don't just sit on it or do an opposition to it. If you still have time within that time frame, amend your complaint. So we want everybody to write, amend your complaint if you get a motion to dismiss. Because a lot of times, a motion to dismiss is not an end all be all. They might have seen that complaint 10, 12 times. And they want to figure out, are these claims being manufactured? Are you copying and pasting one of Joe's templates or somebody else's templates? Can you really write your way out of this? Amending that complaint, they're going to tell you everything that's wrong with it. And you usually have 14 days to amend that complaint. And then they got to answer it again. They talked about his due rights, this and that. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Oh, like I was explaining down here. A motion to dismiss, or what we call it, a 12B6, let me pull that up for you guys right now, because I'm talking in phrases, and it's no person left behind. So let me pull it up to exactly what I'm talking about. So in federal court, we're under Rule 12. And we scroll down to Section B and 6. So that's how we break it down to 12 B 6 for your failure to state a claim. I just didn't want anybody to get left behind to not know what that was. The biggest argument of this case was he attempted to distinguish himself and his identity as a living man and a legal fictional associated with this sovereign citizen argument. So I'm going to break that down. Rowland versus California, the Supreme Court held that only natural persons, not artificial entities like corporations, trusts, or estates, may qualify for IFP status. Sir, who are you applying for? I'm applying for the state of Residual Joe and the living man of Residual Joe. Sir, you apply for a fee waiver. That doesn't apply to you, sir. Only natural persons can apply for fee waivers. If we ever look at complaints that we write, and you look at the beginning, let me see if I've got one. You ever notice the parties always say, I'm a natural person residing in, even though it's not a fee waiver? You can't have it both ways. You got two options. You have the right to represent yourself in court. You can apply for IFP. You got to report all your income. But entities, I'm not even going to get into the trust and all that stuff. It's a whole different conversation, a whole different argument for a whole nother day. He dismissed this case. Why? Because he couldn't decide what he wanted to be. He could have paid the fee waiver, or he could have been a natural person. Because he didn't want to, it killed his case. So, when it comes to federal court, if the person you're listening to can't help you draft it, run. Everybody say, oh, I know attorney, but why can't you draft it? Everybody says they sue, but if I get stuck, can you help me? Oh, I got a violation. Oh, I know all about violations. Can you help me respond other than a nonsense chat GPT response that's going to kill you? Anybody have any questions about that before I move on? You raise your hand. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. Cool. It seemed like it's never, every time we talk about this case or this statute, it's always a lot of people who get confused about it. And under 15 USC 1692E, subsection 8, where it says communicating or threaten to communicate to any person credit information which is known or which it should be known to be false. It's a 2-part question, including the failure to communicate that a disputed item or debt is disputed. If you get sued and the debt is on your credit report, and you answer that lawsuit, that's the same thing as you sending a dispute letter to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. What do I mean by that, Joe? If you're getting sued, let me see if I got an answer. This is an answer per se, right? And an answer, they're denying each and every allegation. Absolute was suing Joe, right? And in the answer, Joe denied each and every allegation, right? But when you get sued, the first thing you should do is like go pull your annual credit report, especially if it's a debt collector, and look at the bottom. It's going to be down here, and see if it says consumer disputes. Why? Because if I answer this lawsuit and I deny this allegation, that's the same thing as me saying, hey, I'm disputing the balance. If they dispute the balance, they have a duty to report that to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Like Ms. Jordan said earlier, those people have all these baggy suits. There's no way they can keep up. This is easy money because I'll just go online and say, who's being sued? I shouldn't even be giving this away. That's like inner circle sauce. Who's being sued? And people say, me, 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 me. Let me see your annual credit report. Have you answered the complaint? Yes. Have they received your dispute at the courthouse? I mean, your answer at the courthouse? Yes. It was like 3-4 months ago. My case ain't doing nothing, Joe. And you mean to tell me they haven't updated your credit report yet? Nah. I wanted a validation letter. I don't care about validation, verification. All I want is a violation so I can see. Because if this dispute, this is the same dispute, this answer is the same thing as if I went on a Word document. Give me a minute. Let me pull out the Word document. Because I know some people, they be like, I don't know, Joe, I'm confused. I ain't getting it. If I went here and I type Equifax information services, P.O. Box 1234567, Atlanta, GA, whatever it is. And I said, Amex account, because this is what y'all say is the dispute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This account is reporting inaccurate and incomplete. Please update the remarks or I'm going to sue you because you guys violated my rights. 1681 something. This is my intent and final notice before I see. Like, that's how y'all let us be, right? It say that nonsense, right? Oh, I gotta put my name in there. Hold on. I'm tripping. I put my name on here. Joe 123 M Street 90210. The balance is inaccurate. I'm disputing it, right? I'm denying all the allegations. I'm disputing the balance. This is the same thing as this is. When I take this to the court and I hand it to the clerk, they better communicate this to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. What happens if they don't communicate it? Anybody know? It's a violation. Why is it a violation? They failed to communicate that a disputed debt is disputed. It's not my fault. Exhibit A. I sent it to the court and the disputed debt was disputed. They received it. So now we have an E8 violation. And if you got this ebook, once a debt collector has actual or constructive knowledge that a debt is disputed, they are required to communicate the dispute when reporting the debt to third parties, such as credit reporting agencies. The debt collector is now on legal notice that if they continue to update, verify, or maintain the trade line or the consumer credit report without flagging it as disputed, they now have a violation. I wish they would send me an updated credit report and not mark it as disputed. So now, while that state court case is going on, guess what Joe's going to do? Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to file in federal. I'm not even worried about that baggy suit attorney. I'm going to federal because they got a whole different type of attorneys on a whole different payroll on a law firm. And I'm taking it to federal court for an E8 violation. And when they reach out to me and say, well, what do you want? I need that state court case dropped. I need a couple of dollars in my pocket. But I use their own tools against them. Why? Because I knew how to beat them at their own game, and I knew what the dispute was. So the first thing I look for when somebody's getting sued, I tell them, go pull your credit report, especially if it's from a debt collector. I say, go pull your credit report. so we can see what's going on. Anybody have any questions about that? I always knew Joe was smart, but bruh, this is wicked. Man, I'm just, you got to think, right? We didn't want federal cases. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but we didn't win federal cases, state cases, our cases. I remember I was the FDCPA guy. It wasn't that. It's just that I'm trying to show people how to line a paper. I'm like, it's no way they're going to get all these elements and just the FD and try to do the FCRA. Nah, we can do FCRA. I just don't feel as though most people can articulate. Then we went on defending cases run. And I took a lot of slack. Oh, Joe, defending people in state court. No, all you guys are sending out refusal to pays. Y'all are going to get me a bunch of money. Shout out to all the people that helped me become best-selling authors too. Sending out them refusal to pays. Last summer, y'all got a lot of people got sued. Don't worry about it. I'm representing you in state court. You can't use securitization to win cases. You're allowed. You just got to know how to procedurally put it together. It's different strategies for different things. Stop coming on here saying, I disputed it 10 times. And I ask you, well, what's incomplete or inaccurate about the account? Well, it's verified, Joe. Well, what's incomplete or inaccurate about the account? I did 6, 7 rounds. It doesn't come off. Okay. Well, what's incomplete or inaccurate about the account, Joe? I don't know. What are you saying? I'm asking you, you saying that it's coming back verified. I'm asking you, what's wrong with the account? Everybody done tried it. Well, all these boxes that's highlighted are incomplete information. Did you ever put any of that in your dispute letter? I don't know, Joe. What did your dispute letter say? I don't know. You don't know, I don't know. Can you go to your CRM and I see what your dispute letter say? Experience, information, services. Tell you this how it be. P.O. Box, Texas, whatever. And then the dispute letter be like, under the FCRA, you have a duty for completeness and or accuracy. Send me verification of that, or I'm going to see. Account number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you'll say inaccurate report, right? It's IB. It's IB when y'all be using those Metro 2 compliance letters. It's IB, I'm telling you. And I'm like, well, you had all the stuff that was missing. Why you ain't put it in your letter? Because the software didn't do it, Joe. Cool. Makes sense. It's errors on 80% of people's credit reports. And once again, if you have a credit report, go to annualcredit.com and send me your credit report, specifically your Equifax. If you have collections on your Equifax, send them to me. It's free. Don't be on the fence and say, I'm embarrassed. Yo, I look at hundreds of reports a day. I'm telling you, I really don't be caring about who got what. But it's an opportunity to get some items removed off your credit report, and it won't cost you anything. So if you got collections on your Equifax, if your spouse got it, I'll let you send your spouse up. Don't send me no clients reports. Because if I reach out and it ain't them, I'm going to just keep it moving. Because y'all be getting out the way sometime. Oh, I got 10 clients. I'm not doing it because I'm not great. Go through you to get through them. I ain't doing it. But if you haven't got your Equifax, you might got to call. You might got to do what you got to do. If they haven't responded and you did a proper dispute, that could be something else. From what I'm saying is that they're issuing stall letters because they're saying people IDs are too dark. Even though when you send them, they're clear, but when it goes into their system, people IDs are too dark. So if it's not in color, I don't know how the heck y'all even getting them to pass through in black and white. And the reason I believe that is that they know most credit repair companies are using black and white ink and nobody's using color. I wouldn't use color either. Shit, I'm not using my color ink. You know how much color ink costs? You think I'm going to use it to do some credit repair? Nah. But if it's my personal stuff, I'll put it in color because I want to make sure they get it. Drop a 1 in the chat if you learned something tonight. As we go into 2026,
Recording stopped.
as we go into 2026, we all have New Year's resolutions. Better health, better financial situations, more knowledge, more freedom. You know, different goals we different goals that we want to reach and obtain. But you ever ask yourself a question? How many webinars are you or Zooms are you on a week? Drop the number in the chat. How many Zooms and webinars are you on a week? Some people on 2, 3, 5, 12, 4, 5. Let me think. I have Monday class, Tuesday class, Thursday class, and I have one on Sundays if I'm in the mood. So 4 or 5 webinars a week easily. Like 16, I mean, damn, that means I'm having like 16 webinars. 20, damn, that's like 20 a month. That's a lot of time you spend on a computer. Am I right or wrong? My question is this. Everybody's inviting you to your webinar, but why aren't you inviting anybody to your webinar? Holy shit. Let me say that again. Everybody's inviting you to their webinar, but why aren't you inviting anybody to your webinar or your Zoom? Let me say it for the people in the back. You come in here 4 or 5 times a week, and I appreciate it. Believe you me. But why isn't anybody coming to your webinar? Is it fear of speaking? I'm from Baltimore. I can't say to, do, few, you. It don't even matter to me. Do, say it again. What's the number between 1 and 3? 2. All right, I said it. All right, you happy now? But nobody's coming to your webinar. Are you happy just being in the same position? Is it that you don't know enough information? Some of y'all are just really information junkies. And some of you guys are just flat out scared. I was once scared. I said, man, I ain't going on that. I said, they ain't gonna know what the hell I'm saying. I said, suppose I gotta go to Cornell Law and I gotta say 15 USC 1690, and then I gotta say this last number. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that number. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna just say 1690 and E. I'm not gonna say it because they're gonna laugh at me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. But I realized in Fit Fight, Fix File Fun, it's mandatory that you got to create an offer. Because if you don't have an offer, you don't really have a business. The Ravens ain't going to the Super Bowl. Hold on for a second. Because, hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Ain't got 2 seconds to listen to Andrew. Now, how funny is that? Now, how funny is that? You're going to be sitting out for 2 minutes. Today ain't the day. What is the offer? The most critical thing that I tell people is your product is not your offer. You might have a gift, a talent, a hobby. I told people I'm going to do a webinar called Giggles and Drips. Are you tired of not being able to hold your bladder? Do you pee on yourself a little bit when you laugh? When you go out to drink, are you always in a hurry to run in and use the bathroom? Join Giggles and Drips as we teach you how to learn how to control your bladder as an adult. Because I know some of y'all grown adults pee on yourself. It's not a habit. Fellas, some of you guys pee on yourself too. It's okay. It's okay to pee on yourself sometimes. It's just a little drip. Hey, Andrew's back after 2 minutes being out. An offer, your product is not your offer. Once you understand what an offer is and how to put it together, your life will change. And that's all I have for tonight. Any questions about what we talked about tonight? Any questions about any of the programs? What is an offer?
Program.
Ms. Ricard, what's your question?
Oh, I wanted to see what I paid for, Joe. Money came out of my account. Did I pay for the fight fix fund?
No. No.
What I pay for?
The call you on? Fight Fix File Fund is $1,000 to join.
Okay.
It's mandatory that you make money and create an offer. Why? Because I'm not going to sit here and let y'all be on my Zoom and my webinars every week and you not take a passion or something you're good at and make money. If you don't want to be a boss, I'm going to make you be a boss, or it's just going to get uncomfortable for you. You just going to have to hear me say, yo, where's your work every week? When is your date set? Mark, what's your question? Oh,
Top of it, Joe.
what's going on?
Oh, not too much, man.
Hey, Mark.
Yo.
I'm super intelligent.
Oh,
You
I
know, I
know.
just like to have fun sometimes, though. You know, like if you talk to me, like, no, we write all this stuff, and we just talked about all this legal stuff, but you know, I just got an in-depth way to break things down sometimes.
I mean, yeah, you witty as hell, bro. And it's definitely necessary to keep it somewhat light because I see you can make it real dark for these people sometimes, and that's why I rock with you.
No, I
So
appreciate
I just want to know, as far as your teaching goes, like I said, ain't nobody teaching like you, bro. So what's the ship looking like? You said 1,000 to join. What's the is there a continuation or that's it?
So,
Just
what do you want? So, Fight Fix File Fund. We teach you how to create your offer, start your credit repair, business funding, webinars in order for you to make money.
mm.
If you just want litigation, that's 2,000, and that's on Thursday. So it depends on where you're at.
I'm already into repair fund, but I'm interested in the litigation. I like your tenacity and the fire, and frankly, I'm tired of the game respecting 6 and 7, 8 rounds worth of disputes. I really don't have that type of patience, so I kind of align with your way of thought.
Well, that's 1,000 down, and we can work out the other 1,000. You know what I mean?
Okay, and then that's total, right? It's not no like ongoing thing.
No, $2,000.
Okay, and how long is the mentorship, or how long do we tap in
6
after?
months.
Okay, that's a bet. All right, man. I'm gonna shoot you the file as well. I know you said Equifax specifically, so thank you for clarifying tonight because the other night you had said don't send nobody else's, and I understood what you were saying because people just kind of send it at random, but it is my wife's. So once you said you could do
No,
the
that's fine.
spouse, okay.
See what's going to happen is they don't believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be the first quarter. My goal is 30 cases filed. 30 cases filed.
I
So
love it.
when you start hearing crazy numbers, I want to upset the industry. Everybody say they're doing this and that. I want to upset it. And then what's going to happen? I'm going to clean the reports, and then I'm going to get them funded. And then you're going to hear other stories.
So this thing got tentacles then. I like it. I like it. I'm all
And you know what's going to top it off? A couple of people going to become bestsellers.
wow.
I
And
just
you
did
didn't
it for fun. I just did it because I was bored. Tuesday, I broke it down like, yo, the only reason I did it was because of X, Y, and Z.
mm-hmm.
I showed them how to structure it, how to sell it, how to hit certain categories in order to become a bestseller.
To be honest, you open up a different light when it comes. I never really even considered webinars or doing anything like that. But if you could polish somebody like that, which I'm sure you could because you've already showed your proficiency for it. But if you could polish me like that, pause, then I wouldn't mind going on, doing webinars or putting my face out there because then I feel like it's kind of a lost art that's being brought to the public. Like what you do now, how you do it is, I mean, you literally like unparalleled. There's nobody near you. So it makes sense that you come on because you have something to offer.
It's not only that, it's if you have an ability to communicate. Ladies, imagine this. Y'all go to the clubs and y'all talk them niggas out of drinks every Saturday nights. I see some of it. Y'all talk them niggas out of drinks every Saturday night. right? Y'all finesse y'all husband, y'all baby fathers out of giving you hand nail money. You just need to tune that ability and speak to individuals about whatever problem they might have and how you can help them fix it. Drop a 1 in the chat if you go to church on Sunday. Watch this. And then I'm getting off it. Anybody, I go to church every Sunday, right? I listen to speakers, I listen to everybody, right? Every Sunday, what do they preach? If you do right, you go to heaven, right?
Right.
It's a promise, right? If you don't do right, what happens?
You're gonna go the other way.
You die and go to hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's offering you something. What do you gotta give? Tithes and offering, right?
Right.
What are they giving you back in return?
Hope.
Hope, and you get a sermon, and you feel good, right?
Right.
But your grandma and your grandfather and everybody pray for you, but you won't put that same type of hope and prayer into yourself.
Into yourself. Right. Right.
If you don't change your 2026, it's going to end up like 2025.
It's over. Right.
And that's all I got to say. Send me your credit reports, guys. I might have enough for a goddamn class action in a 3 months. Who knows? Who knows?
God bless your soul, and I hope you do it. And I'm all for it. I hope that I come up under your tutelage. Like I got the tenacity for it. I got a lightweight legal background anyway, so I know I could eat that up. I'm gonna be in touch. I'll blast you the report, and hopefully we could collab on something.
Raleigh, last one, then we getting off here. What's your question?
Hey Joe, good
What's
evening.
going on?
This is my first time on here, and I wanted, I forget what I, oh Lord, I forget what I wanted to ask. Shoot. Okay, what I wanted to find out if for collection, I would dispute it with the um the the company, right? Not the collection agency, right?
It depends on what your strategy is and
Okay.
what's your end game.
To sue and to make a little money. But I'm gonna send you my the credit report and then you could let me know.
Okay.
Where should I send it to?
I think I dropped the link.
Oh, I didn't. I was looking for it.
There you go, right there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yo,
Bye.
if y'all don't send it in a PDF
Okay.
and you send me 42 photos, I'm gonna know it.
All right.
Like somebody sent me 102 photos in my system the other day. 32 of them had their fingerprints in it. The other 42 had the baby in the background because they just uploaded everything. And like 5 of them, it was like some trash on the floor. I'm like, yo, I can't do this today. I closed the whole thing up. I ain't looking no more credit reports. Because they just went through their gallery and just clicked upload all of them. And I can't do it. Just download it as a PDF.
Okay.
You know, I seen Cheerios on the floor. It was a rat in the corner underneath the thing. I can't do all this. All I wanted was an Equifax credit report. And I had to see all these 100 files about some other stuff. That's all I wanted.
Oh Lord, that's funny.
All right. Mr. McCall, what's your question? I said that was that. What
No,
you
I know, but
what you say? You got to unmute.
Oh Lord.
okay, there I go.
All
I
right.
said I did, but I had one more quick question for you, Joe, because I know I sent you everything about my son, but then he just got a judgment filed against him. And so can I file something to regarding the judgment he got filed against him? Is it something else I can file now in the court to reverse the judgment or something? Or get the judgment off him?
You got to catch a violation.
Okay.
And as deep as you want to go into this, McCall, you might want to step in a litigation space.
The space. Okay.
Where we're at over there, so
Okay.
that you can have more tools. Because on Monday, y'all gonna take everything I say on Monday. It's gonna be on the internet tomorrow. Fix File Fund a little bit more tight knit, so I can pinpoint the leaks.
Gotcha.
She can appeal it. Yeah, she can appeal. I think we talked about that before.
He can appeal it. Okay.
But you got to be able to write an appeal.
Yeah. Right. I know what consistent, what needs to be in it. Okay.
It's an appeal course in the portal, but you still got to be able. It got to be something they did wrong to win that appeal.
Appeal. Right.
But
okay.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
All right. The man on here with me tonight. Hopefully you guys learned something. You know, it's not all about fun and games and laughter, because this is serious business over here when it comes to these credit reports. But send me these credit reports so you can be part of the next success story as we run it up. So thank Trinity. If you guys not following Trinity, follow Trinity. DM her, because she don't have nothing to do, and she likes to answer questions for free for consumers. She said 2026, she want to be more helpful. She want to be able to help people out and draft more cases for everybody. So reach out to Trinity so she can help y'all guys out. She can't unmute, and I don't care. So that's all that matters. And it's free time. She ain't got nothing but free times. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.